A very warm good evening and a warm welcome to all of you joining us today. Thank you for being here for this important session on FDA 510K cybersecurity requirements from guidance to submission success. I'm Vamishta, and on behalf of Qualysec Technologies, I'm delighted to welcome medical device manufacturers, regulatory professionals, healthcare innovators, and cybersecurity teams joining us from different locations. Before we begin, feel free to share your questions on the chat. We will have a live question and answer session towards the end. We are excited to have you with us today. Today, cybersecurity is no longer just a concern. For medical device manufacturers, it has become a critical part of regulatory clearance and FDA submission success. Many organizations build excellent products but still do face delays and submission holes because cybersecurity requirements are misunderstood or addressed too late. And that is exactly why we are here today. Our goal is simple to make this process clearer, easier to understand, and more practical for you. Many of you may be already asking, are our cybersecurity documents FDA ready? What does the FDA expect under the Section 524B? Or how do we avoid the delays and repeated reviews? Well, if this question sounds familiar, you are in the right place. Submission delays often happen not because devices fail, but because documentation and cybersecurity evidence do not meet reviewer expectations. Today's session is designed to guide you through these requirements and help you approach submission readiness with greater confidence. Let me briefly walk you through today's agenda. Today, we'll be covering these points. The first one, why FDA submissions get rejected and what the rejection actually costs you. The main mistakes that cause submission to fail at the first screening. The main 14 cybersecurity documents and what exactly goes inside them. Next, the best practices that give your submission the best chance of clearing it the first time. And lastly, the live question and answer session. Whether you are preparing your first 510K or improving an existing process, this session has been designed for you. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce to our today's speaker. Joining us is Mr. Pabitra Kumar Sahoo, our COO and co-founder of Qualysec Technologies Private Limited. Pabitra sir brings 9+ years of hands-on experience in cybersecurity and healthcare compliance, supporting medical device and healthcare organizations across global markets. His expertise includes FDA cybersecurity compliance, HIPAA, EU MDR, CE mark, high trust, and CDSCO frameworks. He is known for combining technical cybersecurity expertise with practical regulatory understanding, helping organizations strengthen while preparing submission-ready documentation. Today, he will walk us through FDA cybersecurity expectations and the practical path towards successful 510K submissions. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Pabitra Kumar Sahoo. Sir, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhumishta, for this warm welcome. And good evening to all the attendees who joined this webinar. So today is a very special webinar. We'll do it. We'll discuss about different challenges people face while applying for the FDA, the common reason why FDA got failed, and how we can make sure that we clear the FDA 510K in one shot. So I'm really excited to start the webinar. And before we start, let's understand the current scenario of FDA. Okay, so the current scenario is in every year there are around 3,200 submissions got reviewed by FDA, and among them 30 to 33% of the submission receive the RTA in the first review itself. Means every one company out of 3 company receive a RTA. And the major reason to receive the RTA is one standard, which is section 524B. What 524B is, like in March 2023, FDA has legalized cybersecurity evidence. If you have a medical device, cybersecurity evidence is mandatory for you. So for this, majority of the submission got failed. And recently there is a CDRH portal where you can track and file for the RTA and other FDA related documents. So this is the current scenario of FDA 510K right now. if like we know that okay, this 3200 people got reviewed by FDA, among them 33 to 30% got rejected, and maximum got rejected because of cybersecurity. So let's explore that okay, what are the most common reason the FDA submission get failed because of the cybersecurity submissions issue. So starting with most uh, important and underestimate report is software billing of material. What people do, like I talk with many peoples, like hundred of clients. We have a lot of partners. We have talked with them, and what we found that this software billing of material they created in the if you just search in Google, you find different version of this SBoM, right? But what accurate version that is acceptable by the FDA? It is the important question. So most commonly we saw that okay, this SBoM is not curated properly. Second is weak or missing threat modeling. Threat modeling, people just create 2 3 line or 2 3 pages of threat modeling report, which is not acceptable. There is a particular standard we have to follow, particular methodology we have to follow. Like nowadays, FDA mandate this SPDF, Secure Product Development Framework. Like from design to development to testing, you have to develop your product. Keep in mind the security. So this is one of the reason also. Poor traceability. I personally feel poor traceability is very important. What is this traceability means? Like we have to track everything. That okay, we have built the product, we perform the pen test, and this is the evidence. We found the vulnerability and we fix it. What is the evidence? And if we fix it, then whether we do the retest or not, so that we make sure that everything is in line. So there is a chain of action, so that we can track and trace that okay, our security is in our control. Next, missing cybersecurity management plan. This management plan is like underestimated by like many company. What usually this happen in this management plan is like okay, we secure the product right now, but what is our plan for the future? Like whether we can like make it secure, or whether we have a proper incident response plan or not, like this. Okay, and no alignment with QMSR, because QMSR is recently in February 2026, this QMSR has been implemented. So we also observe that QMSR is one of the point. Also this inadequate pen testing evidence, like they like most of the company, like I help a lot of company who actually don't have any pen test report, and they submit to the FDA. The FDA file a RTA to them, and then they come to us and we perform pen test with all their assets, like asset, and then we create the report and provide to them. So inadequate pen testing evidence is also one of the common reason. And recently what I observed, like in this past 3 4 months, what is my observation is people nowadays create the complaints report using AI, right? This is also one of the factor that why the reviewer get reject. Using AI is not a bad thing, but solely depend upon AI that create a regulation document is not accurate, because it's provide a generic answer. So yeah, you have to have the human review, manual testing throughout the journey. So if I move forward,
Yes, sir, it is an excellent insight why major companies fail in the first submission. And I personally feel that the AI generated content is the real bottleneck for the submission failure. Our audience who are present here might definitely be agreeing with these insights. Have you faced the cybersecurity documentation challenges? If yes, do drop down your questions, and we are going to answer them towards the end of the live question and answer session.
great, Bhumishta. Okay, so let's move forward. That okay, we get to know that okay, these are the some reason, like common reason, not for all reason. There are plenty of all reason, but these are the common reason why the submission get failed. Let's understand okay, what is the worth, what is the cost of this failure. Okay, let's say we apply for the FDA reviewer review it, and they ask for a RTA or additional information, or AI document, what is additional information. So what is the meaning of it? If we got the RTA, or they ask for the additional information, what is the cost of it? So it will cost you three precious things. One is the time. If you apply for it, means you already invested so much of time, and then the RT has been raised, then you again invest lot of time to create this additional information letter and rework. So you can take 6 to 12 month time loss. Second is the money. On an average, 500K is the estimated resubmission cost. Re-engineering, again do security assessment, preparing the documents, lost time to market, right? So obviously $500,000. And the brand trust, which is very important as a company. Your client trust gonna diminish, your investor trust gonna diminish, right? This is are not just like if you just got a RTA, it's not end of the world, but what will happen every day that is gonna delay, your competitor will gaining the advantage. So how we can make sure that okay, our device and our whatever we submit for FDA 510K is actually gonna clear by one shot, and if it is not, it's at least clear within a 1 month or 2 month of gap, not taking so much of time. And if I talk about like okay, what actually changed, why these nowadays FDA reviewer provide lot of ask for a lot of additional information, a lot of cybersecurity document, RTA. Why this actually happened? Because in 2026 itself, in February 2, 2026, FDA update that you have used QMSR to align ISO 13485. What is ISO 13485? They have set of different document. FDA have sort of like similar document but separate. So they have to align for it so that there will be no complication within the documentations. So they align QMSR. They update eStar portal to version 6.1, where there is a specific field for cybersecurity and QMSR. And the section 524, which is recommend to secure the product, is now mandate to secure the product. And pre-market guidelines. This pre-market guidelines also mention that okay, you have to implement security from the design, not after it. So these are the things right now in 2026 update has been happened. And as you know that okay, this 524B is apply on the cyber device itself. So cyber device is not like everybody, if you have a band-aid and you applying for the FDA 510K, you need to go for cyber security. No, there is a specific things which is called cyber device, which needs cyber security documentation. You have to first identify that okay, whether your device is a cyber device or not. If it is a cyber device, then only you have to go for this cyber security documentation part. And according to 524B, what is the cyber devices, which include software, embedded or standalone, having software. Software as a medical device, it's part of cyber device. Even if you have a standalone device, but it is connected having a port, that we also consider as a cyber device. Wire or wireless internet, if you access it, we call it cyber device. Even if your IoT device or anything is storing data in cloud, in server, anywhere a hacking can be happen, we consider it as a cyber device. And if you have those cyber device, then whatever we listed, these 14 documents today is needed for you. So
Sir, personally, I have a question here. If a device is not connected to the internet, do we consider it as a cyber device or not?
Valid question. If a device is not connected to internet but having a port, or if you having a firmware and you have to update through a USB port or memory slot, then it's considered as a cyber device, although it is not connected to the internet. If it is a standalone device having no port, nothing, just a device which is nothing to do in technology, then we cannot consider it as a cyber device.
Yes, sir, it answers. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll move ahead with the 14 documents, what exactly need in the FDA 510K. So the 14 document we have listed from series, like what are the steps we have to do or the action we have to do, right? And this 14 document we have created according to the FDA documentation plan, and our experience that okay, this document actually needed to approve and our client got approved with this document. That's why we list it out. First, security architecture review. You have your architecture, but you have to do security architecture review. I'll do one thing. I'll list out all these 14 documents, and then we'll jump into one by one and understand that okay, what exactly in each document need to create and what exactly the FDA is looking for in that document. So first is security architecture report, threat modeling report, software bill of material report, which is called SBoM, software level of support and end of support report, which is very new, Pentesting report, like this is like mandatory and essential for proof and traceability. Pentest report. If you conduct the pentest report, then the retest report, and there is a security assessment of all result anomalies, right? That report also needed. It's not mandatory, but it's optional if certain thing has been missed. Then security risk assessment report, safety and security risk assessment of vulnerabilities. It's for patient and patient safety. Then cybersecurity control, cybersecurity risk management report, cybersecurity labeling, cybersecurity matrix, and last but very important, cybersecurity risk management plan. So these whole 14 cybersecurity documents is needed if you have a cyber device. Majorly these cyber device, you can say this class 2, class 3 devices will gone on the cyber devices. So
So that's a well-structured report package, and I think it will definitely help to those who are going for FTA 510K software bills of materials for the first time. And if any one of you are having any questions from these 14 documents, you can drop them down in the comment box, and sir will be answering them in the live question and answer session.
sure. So if as I mentioned, we're going to deep dive into each and every report. So let's go to one by one report, starting with the security architecture review. What is security architecture? It's a diagram of composition of diagram, global system view, multi-patient harm view, patchability view, like security use cases, trust boundary, if you use cloud, whether it is securely protected or not. So those security architecture review is needed. And this security architecture is not for one asset or one application. If you have, it's for the whole ecosystem, whole system. For example, if you have a, let's assume I have one of the client from US who have a device, it is connected to the mobile application through BLE technology. This mobile application store the data in mobile as well as in the cloud, and these all three things are connected with each other. So if it's not only the system architecture of the device itself, the device, the connection to the mobile application itself, the cloud, everything need to be have into this security architecture diagram. Then the threat modeling report. Threat modeling report is people usually do in 3-4 pages threat modeling report, but no, we have to follow certain standard. Like FDA recommends stride and pasta standard. I will recommend go for the stride standard. It will give you better result, better like. But why we do threat modeling report? We do it because we have to find out how many attack surfaces are there, how many attack vectors are there, how many cyber threats are there. For that, we do the to this threat modeling report. So we have to follow certain framework like stride. FDA also recommends stride for the threat modeling report. And moving for the SBoM material, like software bill of materials, SBoM. Here you have to provide all the list of component, library, dependence. For example, while creating a software or hardware, you definitely use a lot of library, component, supplier, right? So you have to list it everything. For example, the software, what is the component, what is the unique identifier number, what is the component has, and important thing is with this component or with this version, is there any CBE associated with it or not? So we have to list out those things. So it will gonna fulfill the software bill of material. And this software bill of material, you have to create for everything, not just three like 30, 40 element. No, whatever the element you use, you have to put it here. Okay. And there is a recently a new report has been required by the FDA, which is software level of support and end of support. What is this? Like, okay, if you are using a let's say component or a library, right? And whether that manufacturer is actively supporting or not, like actively maintaining or not, or no longer maintain or abandon. So you have to clearly mention it, and if it is abandoned or no longer maintained, how you handle the security, you have to write it properly. So these element, this is the first stage of, like, this is, you can say, during the designing and development stage, these are element can be created and these are document can be created.
If anybody wants any sample software bills of material report, do comment down and we will provide you over email.
So moving ahead, like this design and development phase has been done, then to the testing and control phase. In testing phase, we'll start with the pen testing. This is very essential, and I found multiple times the pen test report is not aligned with the FDA for most of the company. What is FDA looking for? It is not pen testing. It's the common pen testing is different, and pen testing for FDA is quite different, because you can do a normal OWASP checklist, SANS checkup, but it will not valid here, because FDA looking for a thorough and comprehensive report, not an automated report, not a very small report. They will look for that, okay, whether everything has been detailed or not, you have follow NIST framework or not, you providing CBSS score for each vulnerability or not. So from description to impact to step to reproduce to remediation, everything should be there in the pen test report. And whatever the element you have to do the pen test for it. Then once you perform the pen test, there will be the fixation. You do the fixation, and once you fixed it, you have to do this retest. Retest means, like, in pen testing, let's assume for a web application we found 20 vulnerability. You have fixed it, and in retest we check that, okay, whether all these 20 vulnerability has been fixed properly or not. And this report is kind of a traceability. If you remember, in the common reason for submission failure, I mentioned that, okay, traceability. The traceability matrix will be in the retest report, because you can show that, okay, we have performed the pen test, we found certain issue, we fixed it, and this is the evidence, this now fixed. So retest report is also very important. Then security assessment of unresolved anomalies. What does it mean? It's risk acceptance justification. Like, okay, what extra thing we have do to accept this risk? Okay, if certain thing we are not planning to fix it today, what is the correspondent action we have taken? So you have to report it down and properly mention it there. Then there is cybersecurity risk assessment report. In this risk assessment report, how we conduct the pen test, what is the result has been driven, how we fix it, everything should be written clearly. And this is here FDA is looking for different standard that need to be compiled with it. First, ISO 14971, NIST SP 830 revision on standard, CBSS score, and AMITIR 57. So this report should be compiled with those standards. And then there is safety security risk assessment of vulnerabilities. Like, this is also a new report FDA right now looking for. It's like, okay, for a vulnerability, what is the impact to a patient, not to a technical component. For example, there might be a issue you can call DDoS. DDoS is like, okay, kind of sending lot of requests and jamming the device or jamming the server, right? What will happen? This DDoS happen on a heart rate monitoring device. So the impact will be huge. That in heart rate monitoring, if you perform the DDoS, then the patient data, whatever will be shown in the graph, it will gonna very fluctuate, right? So the safety security risk assessment of vulnerability is also now right now required by the FDA, and you can follow different standard like ISO 14971 for this. And
Yes, sir, I completely agree that patient safety is having very high priority than the technical impact.
correct. That's why FDA like this time also looking for those kind of report. Like, okay,
Yes,
you
sir.
have to provide those reports. And if I move ahead with the like another last stage of reports. It starts with cybersecurity control. We have conducted everything, we have done the pen testing, we fixed it. Then in security control, there are actually eight stages. Okay, such as authentication, authorization, cryptography, core data and execution integrity, confidentiality, event detection and logging, resilience and recovery, and firmware and software updates. So these eight parameters need to have certain security policy and security controls around it. So whatever the security controls we have implemented throughout our life cycle, we have to write it here in the security control. And security risk management report, that okay, how we handle this risk. Okay, we found this risk in threat model, we track it in SBoM, we exploit it in pen testing, we fixed it, we validate in retest. This whole assessment, how we manage this risk, should be written in the risk management report. And this risk management report also need to compile with certain thing. Here what FDA reviewer will looking for, whether this risk management report is using this AMI tier 57 or 97 or not, NIST or ISO 14971 standard or not. So these things we have to implement here. Next, cybersecurity labeling. Like this is a very normal language. I see that, I say that okay, it's a very not a fancy testing report, but for the IT people, for the user, for the admin, whatever the cybersecurity labeling information we provide, that okay, what is the network requirement, what is the password policy, what is the update policy, what is the device security instruction, everything should be written there. And these things also FDA mandate that okay, you have to provide the cybersecurity labeling report. The cybersecurity matrix, like throughout the assessment, designing and implementation and testing, whatever the matrix we face, that okay, how many time of pen testing we do, how many vulnerability we have found, how many critical vulnerability we have found. Matrix is all about numbers, percentage, etc. So we have to create this matrix report so that we can provide that okay, whatever whole the assessment, what is the matrix? Is there any incident happened by during the development phase or not? Right. So those things have been mentioned here. And last, very important, is cybersecurity risk management plan. Your device is secure now, for now, not for the future. So you have to have a plan that okay, how you can secure your device, software component, cloud component, everything in future. How you can track, how you can monitor everything. If there are, do you have any plan for incident responding? Do you have any plan for periodic pen testing? Everything we should have a plan, and this management plan is very essential for the post market. So these are all 14 documents that you have to prepare.
Yes, sir, that's truly a valid point that securing a product is not enough for once a time. It should be monitored thoroughly and tested periodically.
Right, because every day, like every, if you see in the security point of view, every new day there is new CP, new vulnerability has been arise. So if you just fixed a application or a component or a device 1 year back, so it is not secure today. There are new issue has been arised, right? And because of AI, the finding security issue is much more easier. So okay, so let's move on to the very important part. Like I feel this part is very important to understand by every regulatory body, every manufacturer body, every healthcare company. This is a very important slide. You have to implement SPDF in your whole life cycle, product life cycle. What is SPDF? Secure Product Development Framework. From security management to secure design, security implementation, to verification and validation and post market. You should consider security through whole out your life cycle, from design to production. You have to have keep in mind that okay, the security is the backbone of it. You don't, it's not that okay, you have create the product and then you pen test it and you apply for the FDA and they will accept it. Definitely not. You have to make sure that everything has been done proper manner. So this SPDF is very essential. Whoever is building a product or going for regulation or going for FDA, right? So you have to have this SPDF and QMSR in your mind. And moving to the best practices, like okay, since I am assuming my audience, few of my audience is applying for the FDA, right? So the best practices, what is the common best practices we should have, right? First, do not generate report using AI tool. Don't type and create the report. You can take help from AI, but don't solely depend upon AI tool. It will going to create a generic report, not a curated report for you. You can take help. Definitely, you can take help. It's fabulous things. It's an evolution, but don't solely depend upon it to create a regulatory report. It should be verified by a qualified reviewer. Second, always use third party security assessment. Like one instance I would like to share. One of my client, also from USA, they have applied for the FDA, and they have provided the report. But what they did, that okay, they just tested in house and create a pen test report and provide to them. Then they ask that okay, can you provide a letter of attestation that okay, third party company have performed this pen testing or not in the RTA. Then they came to us, and then we again perform pen testing on their device and their application, and then they provide the evidence. Okay, so you have to use a independent third party auditor or security assessment for pen testing, for VA scanning, and for retesting. Okay, so these things need to be conducted by a third party. Don't submit auto scanner output as a evidence. It's also very essential. If you create any auto scan report, right, for SBoM or threat modeling or pen testing, right, if you just scan it and provide to it, they will definitely reject. So do not submit any auto scan output. With autoscan output, you have to provide a manually pen test report or tested by any authorized body or certified auditor about this pen testing or retesting. Okay, so do not solely depend upon automation scanner. Fourth, provide clear security evidence. If you do everything but it is not aligned with everything, right, every report is needed for another report. For example, if you don't have threat model and SBoM, you perform pen test, it has no value. If you have pen test and there is no retest report, it has no value. So provide a clear cybersecurity evidence and proper planning, proper flow. So traceability will be increased. Okay, and align your document with standard, recognized standard. This is also very essential, because whatever the document you have prepared, it should be aligned with proper standards. Otherwise, no value for it, right? So such as OAPS, ISO 14971, NIST, AMITIR, 27001, or ISO 13485, or CFR. So you have to use those standard for certain report writing. Last, but a trick I always use is speak FDA reviewer language. Always speak what FDA reviewer want to hear, because at the end he is the person who will approve our report. So always use those jargons: CBSS, trial, PASTA, CP, SBoM. Use those things so that FDA reviewer language, if you speak your audience language or your reviewer language, it will align with them, and it will give exact value, exact whatever he looking for to them. So it is very essential to speak FDA reviewer language. So if I,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
personally say, sir, that it is one of the most valuable slide containing the most significant points, the best practices for FDA submission,
Correct.
which will truly help our FDA candidates.
So so these are all the best practices, but you don't have to do it all alone. It's not like there is everything. There are a lot of things to do, but you should not do it everything by yourself. You should have some third party who is have some expertise in it. For example, us, Qualysec. We if I define Qualysec, we are a cyber security expert who know what FDA reviewer looking for. So we know that okay, what is needed by FDA, and our report is also approved by already approved by FDA. So we almost conducted submit of nearly 50 plus submission. There is zero rejection track record we have. Whatever we submit, we got cleared. Right. This is our client speak. And end-to-end submission readiness, we prepare all 14 documents including the full E-Star ready, E-Star portal ready document so that you can just upload and what will be done. Then we'll take 100% ownership of the cybersecurity package. Like we'll do everything from reporting to testing to if you receive any RT also we're going to help you them. And the most important thing, testing documentation and testing and documentation both are under one roof. How? We have our own laboratory, which is ISO 13485 certified laboratory, so that we are authorized to perform test on the medical device, and we have expertise. We have in-house expertise of web, mobile, cloud, IoT, desktop application, whatever the component needed for a healthcare device. We have this expertise. Alongside, we have the expert who can write the proper FDA report, other FDA report apart from the technical. So we have everything under one roof. So these are some uh, submissions and the track record of our company. So if I give you certain example of our track record, there are multiple company who got FDA clearance. There are certain screenshot we have that okay, these are company few who received FDA and their evidence here. So that's all about today's session. I hope you all have gained some information about why the FDA release RTA, how we can make it secure, what are the documents are there, why security is now essential for the FDA, right? And the best practices. So I hope I'm open for the Q&A. If you have any question, you can ask in the Q&A. I'll try my best to answer it all.
Wow, that was an insightful session. Thank you so much, Pabitra sir. That was an incredibly detailed and practical walkthrough. I'm sure everyone here with us right now has a much clearer picture of what FDA reviewers actually expect. Before we open up the floor, I just want to remind everyone that we are having a live question and answer session right now. And this is your chance to ask Pabitra sir your questions directly. If you have typed your questions in the chat already, thank you. We'll be going through it shortly. And if you are having any questions that came up during the session, please do drop down it in the chat now. We'll be taking the questions for the next few minutes. So let us make the most of this time. So we do have some few handful of questions with us in the comments. Uh, we do have a question from Bernard Falkoff. How do you apply cybersecurity to SAS 145 and ISI 315 audit data compliance?
Okay, so you have to prepare the document along with it because certain devices, right, require those kind of compliances. If you have to align with it, there are a lot of systematic regulation are there, sort of framework are there. We have to use it for our documentation process. It is not like very out of the wall thing. You just have to align certain thing. For example, in a simple terms, I will explain. Like in the security pen testing itself, there are a lot of standards, OAPS, SANS, OSSTM. If you see on a high level, you see okay, these are very different things. But if you see in the deep level, there are nearly same. You just there are few things that need to be here and there. So you can do it accordingly.
Bernard, I hope it answers. Okay, sir. So another question we have from Mansoor Rangwala. He has asked, yes, we need PIPS assessment, potential impact to patient safety. And can I get some templates for risk assessment report that FDA expects?
Risk assessment report. Yeah, we can provide. Just write down a comment. We'll definitely try to provide you certain sample report.
Okay, Mansoor, we will reach out to you soon. Okay, so we have some common questions with us. I would like to address it to you. The first one is, Do all components need testing? Like for example, cloud, network, server, or we do only need testing for the medical device, like the IoT device?
Okay. So the question basically whether we need to test one IoT device or the whole system around it. So
Yes.
if I say in simple word, you need everything because if you see in the security architecture review, you get to know that okay, your device is connected to cloud, your device is connected to mobile, it's connected to a desktop app, right? But in pen testing reporting only show the evidence of device. It will not sufficient. You have to do it everything, and you have to prepare all reports separately and submit to them. That okay, we have five element, we have conducted five different assessment for it.
Yes, sir. It answers. Okay, so we are now open for some few minutes. If anyone do have any questions, please do drop down it in the comments. We'll be answering this. Sir, I think that's all. So now I may conclude. Thank you, Pabitra sir. That was really an excellent session from starting to finish. On behalf of Qualysec Technologies, I want to thank all of you for joining us today and for your wonderful questions. A quick reminder, if your question was not answered today, we will answer them to you personally. And please don't hesitate to email it to the team at sales@qualysec.com to book a free 30-minute FDA 510K cybersecurity consultation directly with Pabitra sir. A recording of today's webinar will be shared with all the registered attendees and we will send across that shortly. Thank you once again for being here. We hope to see you soon at our next session. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you, and have a great day. Jai Jagannath.